Alright, I'm Al. This is Chronicles of a Not Yet Champion Golfer. It's funny when you talk whilst you're hitting balls. It's like, it's easy because it completely takes any thought away from any technique or what you're doing. Just hitting it with rhythm just seems kind of effortless because you're talking, you don't have time to kind of think, oh, what am I going to do? I'm going to knee it, you know what I mean? But if you're just talking, you're just kind of reacting and just hitting it. I'm going to come closer. Last round at one, I spoke about trust and me having some trust issues. Is that camera straight? Hold on. Yeah, it's straight enough, isn't it? Yeah, talking about having trust issues on the golf course, and I think the way to go is make the practice as hard as physically possible. So make the targets as small as possible, make the scoring as tough as possible, and try and hit different shots. It's cleaning me club, that wasn't anger. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing a challenge from 100 yards to 160, so 6 different shots: 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160. No, 160, I don't do 160, do I? 150. 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. No 160. 2 balls per target. I'm going to do it on my flight scope. I'm going to put cones out so that you can see how small the targets are. So very, very tough scoring. That's what I'm going to be doing once I finish warming up. If ever there's a time to not top it, it's probably now. Fat. Oh, little draw. Let's finish on that. It's interesting that like talking when you're hitting a shot though. Less to go in your head, less negativity to go in your head. Maybe on tough shots where I don't feel that comfortable, namely the tee shots like I spoke to about in the roundup. Maybe if I just talk to myself in my head, like just, oh, all right, Al, what are you doing tonight? Oh, I was gonna have me tea later on with my missus. Nick's gonna cook me tea. Probably gonna have meatballs, vegetarian meatballs, Linda McCartney, which are nice. Gonna have some of them. And we have this chickpea pasta as well, which is quite nice, bit of pasta sauce and that. But by this point, meatballs. Meatballs, it's all about meatballs. It's all over it. I've hit it straight down the middle and I've like forgotten that there was water all up the left or all up the right, so normal. Normal human. And I'm just gonna show you how hard this is. Now, 100 yards. This is the 5-point zone, so 100 yards, diameter 10 foot, it's got to land within 5 feet of the target to get 5 points. It has to pitch there, doesn't matter where it ends up. Now the whole circle, so obviously it's outside that, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, but the whole circle diameter is only 26 feet. So if it's outside 13 feet, which from 100 yards is easily done, you know, on tour, very good. You're above average if you're getting within 10%, so if it's 100 yards, 10 foot is kind of what you're aiming for. So this is tough because we're trying to get it within 5. So if you're outside 13 foot, right, left, short or long, 0 points. So there's our cones there. Going for the yellow, and you can see the cones that are around. It's got to land within that spot. It looks bigger on camera than it is actually. That's a 100-yard one. So 5 feet from the yellow cone to the white. Imagine a circle, just didn't have enough cones to make a circle. And the blue is 110. Same thing, 5.5 feet.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. 100 yards to start. You don't need a flight scope to do this, by the way. This is just to make it a bit more clear. Gives me like a point scoring system, but you can develop your own. If you just get some cones, you could do it with someone else. Get someone to stand up there, see if it lands in there. And if you like losing, just aim for them. And then you hit them, you'll just win on default. So you could just do it that way. Anyway, 100 yards is my first shot. I've got my 54-degree wedge. There he is there, Rusty. Hang on line. Distance is good, but it's a bit right.
Wait. 2 points.
98.5, 2 points. 1.5 yards out. Can't be disappointed, can you? That's what I say. If I get any points, it's good. 5 would be, yeah, I'm loving life if I get 5. Same yardage, remember 2 shots per yardage. That's no points. It's none, it's absolutely none. Oh, it is.
1 point.
99 yards, just a bit right. It's like 10 foot right, because the target's so small. Shut up, woman. Shut up. Because the target's so small, it looks wider than it is. That's what the game's about, isn't it? Just a little camera change to make it more interesting, because the golf's not interesting enough that the camera kind of adds a bit to it. 110. Line's good, got to go a bit. Oh no, it's good. Gotta be good. Oh.
3 points.
111.9. Bang on line. Definitely focuses you more when you pick such a small target. And it kind of makes sense to me now when all the books, and they say aim at as small a target as you can. But I was seeing grip's wet now. It's alright actually. I was aiming at small targets but still seeing the rest of the rubbish. Whereas here you're literally, and granted this is in the middle of a practice ground, so there's no rubbish around, I'm not going to lose my ball, but focus on a very small target like that. I think the more that you do this, the more you'll be able to do it on the course, or the more hopefully I'll be able to do it on the course. Oh, that's not going to be any points. That's short and right. That's short and right.
0 points.
108.6, actually 1.4 yards short, but right. Right on the edge of the thing as well. No points. This is why you need to make sure you get more cones than what I've got. Because now I've got to go move the 2 now to 120, 130. And then when I played them, I'm going to move the next ones 140, 150. Yeah, you can see those ones where they're right. I mean, they bounce a bit right as well. That one was right on line, that one. Blue one. But remember, it's landing yardage, not the total yardage. Thinking about it, this challenge gets harder as the distance goes up, because like the 130 I've just put out, I've only got 6.5 foot, so 1.5 foot for 30 extra yards. I said I wanted to make it hard, I did say that, so stop complaining, I'll get on with it. 120 now, and this is a little bit awkward yardage when it's this muggy. Normally full 50 is good for this, but just not quite travelling as far. So I've got wedge, but it's kind of fiddly, which this sort of 3/4 wedge shot can come out a little bit hot for me sometimes and go miles, and then I get as like a reaction the weak right one. So yeah, it's probably something I need to work a bit on. Oh, it's a good strike. Might need to sit down a bit. Sit down a bit. Longish, that. That's what I'm talking about. 127.
0 points.
127. This camera angle's stupid. I told you with this sort of shot, I'm just not. I normally can get that a bit, almost like compress it too much, get on top of it too much, it comes out too hot. 7.4 yards long. Just go down the grip a little bit, you know, when a set comes out hot. Go down the grip a little bit on it. And the best explanation for this, I heard, was Nick Doherty on his Tea Time Tips, which are quality, by the way. Like a minute long things, they're class. And he said, yeah, if you grip it here and swing it, that club's not going to be moving very fast. But if you grip it there and swing it, the club travels so much further, it's much quicker. Like a hose pipe, you get it at the end, you're not going to move it as fast as if it's like whipping around. That's a rubbish one, the hose pipe, actually, because it's just going to get floppy in it. The golf club one's better. Watch Nick Doherty, he tells it much better than I do. Oh, it's got to be good, that. That has to be good. Sit again a bit, sit again a bit.
Wait.
123.
1 point.
1 point. That's what I mean, just a little long with that shot. And it's 3 yards. Being very critical there, aren't I? But
go ahead.
Like 130, realistically, I should be alright at this. This is perfect for just a nice, easy wedge now. Line's good. Go a bit. That's short. It's better for the other cone. Now I see 123.
0 points.
It's frustrating that.
Go
That
ahead.
is frustrating. That's my yardage, that. It's cleaning me club, that wasn't anger. Camera swap. It's the camera's fault. Pull. 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 130.5, pull left, annoying, 0 points. Yeah, get off.
2 iron.
Get off.
Change.
She's talking to me, get off. By the way, that horrendous pull, the last one I hit, is that. There's the cone. There's the pull. That is finished up. 9 foot away. Yeah, I shouldn't really be fuming with that, but for the purpose of this challenge, it was 0 points, and that's all that matters. None. Nil point. That's 150. Looks bigger on camera where you are, but look. So there we are. To there. There. Look. 1 stride, 2 stride, 2 and a bit. That's even big. That's even big than what it is. 150. 7.5 foot. Those cones are just to give you an idea, or me an idea of what I'm aiming for, so you can actually see it. I'm on 7 points out of a possible 40. 140, 9 iron. 9 iron's normally like 150, 155, but you know the airs must be somewhat thick. Oh! Pull, Al, pull. That is the worst shot of them all.
Win. 0 points.
139.1, but it's a yard out yardage wise, but it's quite a long way left. Meatballs, meatballs, meatballs. Meatballs. It's all about meatballs. It's all over it. Come on. Come on. Bit long. Long. It is. It's long, that. 145. 150, last one. 150. That's 2 shots. I'm trying to hit a little cut in here. That's interesting, actually. I played the other night. I played 9 holes, and I tried to just play like Bubba Watson, because I think, trust-wise, you have to trust yourself if you're going to hit a big cut or a big draw, like slingers all the time. I think you have to trust it. You can't play without that, and it's not so much technique when you're trying to hit that big a shape. And I think I almost try and play the perfect shot too often, and I really enjoyed it, like playing 9 holes. It was like really good fun, which is mad for golf, because sometimes it can't be. But it was like it's the most I'd enjoyed 9 holes for ages, and I scored well as well. I was a couple under, but it was nice just shaping it round. It just, I don't know, it just seemed like it made the game more fun. And hit a little fade in here now, 8 iron. Fade a bit more. Fade more! It's not fading enough. I actually went dead straight.
Win.
146. Short, left. Annoying this. Be interesting to see, because I feel like the performance isn't great. But it'll be interesting to see when I compare on the graphs, which I don't really understand. But if it's green and it's at 100%, it means it's better than the PGA Tour average of like proximity from that distance. Score-wise, I've made it so difficult that the score actually looks like it's not good. But I think the important thing is to not lose confidence from that. The important thing is to actually make sure that you're looking at it for what it is and say, right, well, on the golf course they'd all be on the green, some of them would be close. I've just made the target so small that it's more difficult than it is, and I get on the course and actually the targets aim at small targets still, but the targets look massive and should be easier to hit in theory. Cut. Not cut again. 148.7. Right. There's our graph. So 100 to 125, I was very good. You know, the 100, 110, 120, really good. Still on par with PGA Tour average. 100 yards, both in the circle. 1 2-pointer, 1 3 points. You know, both spot on for yardage. But obviously when you're playing out, it is different when you're in a tournament, playing to different targets rather than hitting to an open field essentially.
110 went 108.6, yardage was good again, but right, so no points, but not far right. You're talking it's 12 foot right. The other shot on that, 111.9, 3 points. Good shot, 2 yards out, bang on line. 130.5, left, no points. But it wasn't far left. You can see that line, it's not, you know, it's just missed the target. It's probably like just over 10 feet left from 130, we'll get no points.
You're never going to shape a wedge much, you know. Once it gets beyond that, where you start hitting shapes, I think I need to start hitting more shapes to control it a bit more.
139.1, and that was the one that I pulled, wasn't it? So that was no points, I pulled it loads.
Trying to hit it dead straight all the time. I can often, I mean, I tried to fade those last two, but hit them straight typically. But I just need to get better at controlling them, and that's what I spoke about before, going out and playing that way, playing what is called bubba golf, just shaping it all over the place. And yeah, playing extreme, but it teaches you to get it under control. Same thing with the swing speed. If I can swing it fast, I can control it at a faster speed, and if I can shape it loads, I can control it with less shape. And it's, you know, it's 12 balls, but it's a really effective practice of 12 balls. So you can do it in 20 minutes rather than coming out and hitting hundreds of balls. You're coming out, you're hitting 12, and you've got so much more out of it. Something to base it on, score yourself. And it's actually easier when it's soft because the ball doesn't bounce as much then. But you can set zones that you're trying to land it in and bounce it in, but it's a little bit more unpredictable. But it's a good challenge to do. It's all about trust in practice, so a lot of my videos from here on in will be about that. And thinking about meatballs. Oh, meatballs, I forgot to think about the meatballs on the last shot. That was it. Remember that. Thanks for watching. See you next Tuesday.